Andrew, earlier this year, Rolls-Royce announced its decision to reduce its downtown footprint, cutting it by about half. What does that move mean for the city core? And could we see other employers, major employers like Salesforce, Anthem, Lilly, follow that? And lastly, how does that affect the marketability of downtown if the major employers are reducing their office space?
Right. No, that's a interesting question, Mickey, and there's a few parts, so I'll kind of unpack it and then give you guys the punchline. I think there's a bit of a misconception out there, and this is not a knock on major media outlets at all, but there is a misconception between actions and pandemic and making that causal effect. And a lot of these instances, especially knowing how large occupiers, can't speak specifically about Rolls-Royce, but large occupiers think about their headquarters in space. A lot of these projects and downsizings were well in advance, and those plans were happening long before the pandemic even started, right? So I think there is a tendency for us to kind of make this causal relationship one to the other. But at the end of the day, a lot of times, they're taking a long-term view. At the same time, we've talked about all the successes and reasons to be bullish. We've seen companies like Facebook have 100% remote work from home policy, sign a 750,000 square foot lease in Midtown New York, just last year. So as we think about these larger occupiers, if they are going to downsize, there's obviously going to be other business drivers as they look at that. Pandemic may have, and changing in work styles may have some impact. But to your second part of your question, that vacant space, I think we all have an opportunity, both as practitioners, as well as people in this room, to look at things either as a glass half full or a glass half empty, right? And as I think about that space, I think it's a huge opportunity for downtown in particular and the city and real estate practitioners to attract another large user to be adjacent to Rolls-Royce and really continue the positive trajectory of downtown. And so I don't think it's a death knell as much of an opportunity. And I think we have to start viewing these things as such and also really understand really what is driving these large corporate occupier decisions. And in particular, this idea of hybrid work and flexible, well, that's been going on for 6 or 7 years, except nobody was reading corporate real estate journals until, the last 18 months.